everybody.
Hello.
It's Blade.
I'm Rhonda.
And we are Paranormal
Pixies.
Pixies. And of course, we got little monkey Coco. He's looking happy because he is a cutie. And he's going to be talked about. Because today, well, this week, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about pets and kids and how they can see what we can't see.
Right.
Okay? Or, some people can see it. It just, most people have blinded themselves to it.
Right.
So, most animals, if you pay attention and you have stuff in your house, they will notice it. They will be aware of it. So if you have a cat or a dog, now I'm not quite sure about goldfish.
You never know.
Exactly. Fish are on a whole other subject, man. Birds, hamsters, ferrets, whatever you have. If they're staring into areas that look like there's nothing there and they're like paying attention to it and they watch things and they move around, or they'll like act like they're following somebody, but you don't see anybody, you probably have an animal that is seeing a spirit.
Yeah.
Animals sense energy. I mean, I think that's just a natural adaptation.
Yeah.
For survival.
Yeah.
That it goes to that whole thing, I can't trust somebody that my dog doesn't trust.
Right.
Or my cat doesn't trust.
I'm going to move this down a bit.
Yeah.
Because we are like way far away.
We're way far away. We're so far
That's a little
away.
better. It was like from here up, we're talking heads.
I don't sing that well. But anyway, animals tend to have this ability to see. And they're going to do things. So like, I mean, I'll catch stuff out of the corner of my eye. I know I have stuff in my house. It's not necessarily human ghost. It's more what I would consider nature energy.
Yeah.
And my one dog, she goes nuts over it. She really does.
Yeah.
She barks at it all the time. It isn't a bad thing. She was an abused dog, so anything that's strange to her, she automatically starts barking at.
Right.
I mean, Rhonda here loves animals, is an activist in animal, adoption and stuff, especially for the cats.
Yep.
You
can see my cat on my, well, kind of. There's a cat on there.
Yeah, and you also do the thing where if there's a cat in one state that's ready for adoption, you'll go up and pick it up, right?
Yeah, I work with Imagine Home, where we each, like, somebody will go and pick up the cat. Like, if somebody moved and they couldn't move their cat with them, they need them transported. Somebody will, arrange it all. Someone will go pick up the cat, drive so far, meet the next person, switch off, they'll drive so far, and eventually the cat gets where they're going.
Right, right. And you've also worked with the feral cat thing where... So, I mean, loves animals.
Yep.
But Bella, my border collie, she was badly abused. She'll freak out at her.
Yeah.
But, it's not that...
I was with you when we picked her up.
Right. And she was an itty-bitty puppy.
Yep.
But she was very badly abused. We didn't realize how badly abused she was when we picked her up until I took her to the vet that very day, which the guy didn't want me to do. He's been reported.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, he was taken care of by me and the surgeon that fixed both of her hind legs because they were busted up.
Yeah. And I'm sure Karma probably got it
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah. But, Bella is very shy. She only wants to be around me. She has a hard time dealing with other people.
Yeah.
She's terrified of them because, this is her mentality. So anything that she feels is out of the ordinary, she will bark at. So, or run from. So I take that into consideration. Nothing in my house is bad. Now, Coco's watched stuff. The other two dogs, Fox will bark at them. Trixie, she's pretty much, as long as it's not bothering her or near her, she doesn't care.
Yeah.
And, Coco, he just wants everybody to love him. So animals tend to see these things. Have you ever had any experience with animals?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, like, I have 7 cats in my house. And yeah, every now and again, the two youngest ones, Luna and Willow, they will look at something that is not there. To me, it's not there. To them, it's obviously something there.
Right.
But in my house, there's really nothing in my house either. So, but yeah, I did have a cat several years ago, and he is still in the house.
Mm-hmm. Charlie.
And I'll feel him jump up on the bed occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
I think we can talk about that too. Animal spirits within the house. So what we're okay. Let me. Okay. So it goes. It's kind of similar to the same thing with kids. Little kids have not been conditioned to not believe.
Right.
So they'll have like your kid has imaginary friends. Maybe it's a woodland spirit or a spirit of a ghost. You know. There was that huge case in Georgia.
Yeah.
Of the little girl that was talking to the guy all the time, and it got a bit weird.
Yeah.
But
and I don't think she sees spirits anymore, or she does, and she's learned how to control it.
She learned how to control it because it was actually hereditary.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, what happens is adults who don't understand will squelch that ability. They'll convince them to stop seeing it that way. To me, it's like we took a class to a field trip to the zoo, and they came back, and one of the kids, we were like, draw one of your favorite animals. So this one kid draws an elephant, and it's pink and purple. Now, I'm just, helping out, but the teacher is like, well, that's not what an elephant looks like. And he's like, but that's what I saw.
Interesting.
And I'm thinking, this kid's seeing auras.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Makes total sense to me that if this kid sees a pink and purple elephant at the zoo, he's seeing its aura. So that's the color he sees around that elephant.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It's not that there was a pink and purple elephant actually standing there. This is the energy that the elephant was emitting.
Yeah.
And the kid is seeing this. But now he's being told, nope, that's wrong. Wrong. Elephants are gray. But that's what I saw. No, elephants are gray. Don't believe your eyes. Believe what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Elephants are gray. I'm thinking, dude.
Right.
I mean, I'm an artist. So if I want to draw a pink and purple elephant, you can tell me it's
pink and purple.
And tell me it's wrong all you want. I don't care. I'm drawing a pink and purple elephant because that's what I want to draw. To me, this is what it is they're so busy squelching what they consider the imagination that what they're squelching is an adaptive part of the survival skills.
Right.
Picking up energies, understanding energies. Not that we don't have them anymore because, who hasn't gone in someplace and gotten the heebie-jeebies, the willies, or whatever you want to call them. The skin crawling up the back of your neck, goosebumps, the whole 9 yards. People will tell you, oh, it's just a breeze. Oh, we don't believe it. It was funny. One of the schools that I worked at, we worked in this old building. It was a beautiful old building. One of the classic Germanic, looked like a freaking fort. Okay. Mini fort castle.
Yeah.
And they had what was called the ghost in the bathroom. And everybody knew about it.
Yeah.
Everybody knew about the ghost in the bathroom. Little kids are talking about it all the time. Did you hear about the ghost in the bathroom? And what do you I believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
And I had this one student, I don't know, she said something and something was said and she looked at me and she goes, ghosts aren't real. My mom told me they're not real. Are you telling me she's lying?
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Yeah.
You can't say, oh yeah, your mom lied to you. Sorry. You got to be delicate. And what I said is, that's what your mom has told you. If that's what she believes, that's what she believes.
Right.
But there are people who don't believe, and there are people who do believe.
Right.
And we can't be like saying both are wrong.
Right.
Okay? It is what it is. Some people believe, some people don't. And you have to accept that those people believe. And you cannot criticize them.
Right.
I mean, that's the best I could do. I mean, this kid's 5 years old. What do you do?
Yeah.
So you try to mediate away from, yeah, your mom's wrong, kid.
She's lying to you.
Right. Well, no. I'm not going to say she's lying. That's what she believes.
Yeah.
It's who they are. They do not believe in it. And, like my friend Steve, when he first moved into the house 2 streets down, he didn't believe in ghosts.
Yep.
But by the time he left, he truly believed.
Yep.
Yep. It wasn't just a bad case of tuna. So, I mean, but there are people out there, and they will train their kids not to believe.
Yeah.
And their kids will stop seeing, because as much as they want to believe it, as much as it is part of who they are as they're growing up, social conditioning kicks in.
Yeah.
So you got that problem. And that's how animals are. Animals don't have that social conditioning.
Right.
We can't look at them and go, Coco, elephants aren't pink and purple. They're gray. He doesn't care.
Yep.
He just wants to be pet.
Yep.
He doesn't fully understand every word I just said. He just knows I spoke to him.
Yep.
He'll know certain words. He knows his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially what's happening is it's a conditioning within oneself. I mean, did you have imagination? What were you like as a kid?
Oh God, I was outside all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually had lives. We just didn't.
Yeah, we didn't have video games and computers and all that stuff. No, we actually had to go outside and play in the woods all day.
Yeah.
Best childhood ever.
I know. I had a blast.
Yeah. Change it for the world.
I mean, you lived in the country.
Yeah.
I lived in more suburbia area for half of my childhood.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, like I lived in Clifton and College Hill, but there were, and there still is, woods behind the houses that I lived in at that time. And I was always out there.
Oh, yeah.
And we had dogs, and so I was constantly out running the dogs and everything, and playing and making forts, and having a great time. And then when we lived in Germany, my mom's family, they lived right there. I mean, you just look out the backyard, and there are those wooded forests, and you can see the Alps, and and.
Well, that's like where I, grew up out in the country, right across the street from our house. We lived on a dead-end street, a little town with, like you go through the main town, you blink, you'll miss it.
Right.
We didn't even have a stoplight in the whole city.
Whoop, there you go. One end to the other. Yeah.
Pretty much. And, across the street from us was another house, and then behind that was like a big field and then just woods forever.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. It's just, so I used to run around all the time. I had a grand time, and honestly, I'm going to say I saw ghosts, even into my teens, because even though my mom didn't believe, and my dad, I don't know what my dad believed, because we never talked about it. Now, my mom would try to squelch it, but her dad wouldn't.
Yeah.
My grandfather was like, it's out there.
Yeah.
Believe what you see.
Well, see, that's how my dad is. He believes all that stuff.
Right.
And, he gave me a copy of Chariot of the Gods when I was a kid, after he read it. So, yeah, I've always been exposed to
I read
this
that
kind
in
of
junior
stuff.
high when it was big, when it first came out.
But, yeah, he's always been into the paranormal and that kind of thing. And, so.
Well, see, it's like my dad being he was really big into mythology and stuff like that. So, but, as kids, I grew up with people who supported the imagination, who supported, that they didn't try to squelch it.
Right.
I mean, I never talked to my mom about any of it until we were like adults.
Yeah.
And she didn't believe it until she didn't believe me until my brother said something about one of her houses being haunted. And then we all sat together and she listened to our stories, and she's like, I just never knew. I just thought it was all a bunch of hooey that you were telling me. And she mostly was talking to Michael, because I just...
Yeah.
Mom's great. Love you, Mom.
Thanks a whole fucking lot.
That's right. You're welcome. Were you there for that one?
No,
Wendy was.
Wendy was here.
Yeah,
you told me of that one. Oh, it's a whole other story.
Right, but but anyway, I I didn't have that squelched stuff, and my dad was very into doing stuff. So finger painting and building stuff, and even if it was just making a balsa wood model airplane and painting, on that, it was, we're going to make stuff, we're going to draw, we're going to color, we're going to paint. So there was a lot of creativity on his side,
right?
And even my dad was a trickster. That's the best way to put it. I mean, I remember getting a set of creepy crawlers. Do you remember those? There was this stuff you had to pour in the thing and bake it, and these little rubbery creatures, and we would hide shit to scare my mom. And it was all my dad's do it. My dad's like, let's do this. So, my dad was into that.
That's another thing, though, with, little kids that draw things. They might, ask them, draw like who you were playing with or whatever. They might draw somebody you recognize.
Right.
I mean, you never know.
Which reminds me, one of the times that I was working with a multiple handicap. So it wasn't special ed, it was multiple handicap. So we were talking about Down syndrome, autism, those kind of things. And I was doing the art class, and this MH class comes in.
Yeah, and most people like that are more attuned.
Exactly, exactly. And one of the kids was drawing these weird they were kind of shaped like that, like almost missile shaped. And then they had little arms and little legs, and he drew little hats on them and stuff, and eyeballs.
Weird.
And I asked him what they were, and he said, well, those are the Indians. And I said, the Indians? He goes, yeah, they're out there in the sky. And I went, really? And he's like, yes, the Indians live in the sky and they help us.
Interesting.
So,
I wonder what he was seeing.
I'm not sure. It could have been angelic.
Yeah.
But this is how he knows it. This is how he related to him. He didn't know what to call them, so he called them Indians.
That's cool.
So I mean, I didn't dissuade him from believing in that. This is what he sees. This is what he drew. He explained to me what they were. And he really believed them. Yeah. So.
Well, that's why I think little kids so often will have nightmares. Yeah. Because of stuff that they see.
Right. And if they don't have somebody to explain it to them when they live in America, they don't know what to do, which I think is partly why I got into what I got into. Right. I mean, my dad did read me a lot of mythology. I mean, those were my bedtime stories when I was real little. And yes, my grandfather was an influence when I was like 7, 8, but earlier than that. I mean, I didn't talk to him about everything, but, seeing ghosts and stuff like this, I was terrified. Yeah. I had the invincible blankie.
Oh, God, yeah.
Invincible blanket.
Yep.
Okay, that's the one, those. You throw it over your head.
And nothing can see
and you. And you have like this little bitty spot where you breathe out because it's going to get too hot underneath there. Yep. So... and I would have the radio blaring because I had that guy that would stand next to my bed and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I just didn't want to hear what he had to say because I was a kid.
Yeah, even now, when I go to bed before Chad, I leave the TV on because things will talk to me. And I'm like, shut up.
I have to have the fan on. Oh, yeah. So I have my meditation thing on. I have the fan on. And then I have my noise machine next to the bed on rain. Yep. Oh, yeah. So it's like I have to have that noise. Because as a kid, I would have the radio on. Yeah. Because that kind of drowned him out a little bit. But I had the invincible... I slept under that blanket. It was completely covered. Nothing could get you under the invincible blanket. Yeah.
Well, remember when Chad was working third shift? I'd leave the TV on all night. Yep. Oh, and that was another thing that happened. Remember in the house over in Price Hill that I lived in? One night I woke up. Chad was at work all night. And the VCR was going up channels. Yeah. Just one channel all the way up to the highest it could go. And then it started coming back down. And I'm hitting stop and power and everything. I had to unplug it to get it to stop. And it did it 2 different times in that house. I still have that VCR. It's in the basement. It's never done it since then. So I'm like, okay.
Okay, so like I keep my stuff plugged in. but it powers down.
Yeah.
Especially the printer. It'll turn itself off after. It's got like a timer or something.
Yeah.
It'll turn itself on to clean.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't turn. I mean, it's probably programmed in there.
Yeah, it is. Ours does that.
I'm like, but it freaks me out the first time. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Because you're sitting there, all of a sudden you hear the printer, and you're like, what? Yep. Yeah, because ours does that. Yeah.
What is going on? So yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that. But it freaks you out the first few times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
So. It's just like that earthquake. Somebody shaking the bed. Stop. I literally sounded like, stop shaking the bed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's an earthquake.
That was so funny. Oops. Then we both instantly thought it was a ghost. Nope, that was an earthquake.
The animals, of course, they'll react to that.
Oh, yeah.
That's they react to earthquakes, too.
Yeah.
They're much more tuned to the electromagnetic fields that are generated. So, since we have electromagnetic fields, spirits have electromagnetic fields, the earth itself.
Yep. That's why when you see a big storm coming, you'll see flocks of birds all flying the same way to get away from it.
Mm-hmm. So, they know.
Yeah.
I mean, my fox, I won't even know that a storm is even brewing, except that fox will start shaking and get all anxious. And I'll stop. And I'll start to listen, and way off in the distance, I might hear a little rumble, like a very imperceptible rumble. And I'm like, storm coming in. Here, baby boy, Benadryl. Baby Benadryl.
Yep.
I drive my
Thunder
dog.
freaks Onyx out, my one cat. Oh, she's... If she's laying in bed next to me and a thunderstorm comes up in the middle of the night, she jumps off. I don't know where she goes, but I think she hides under the bed.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Animals are attuned to electromagnetic fields.
Yeah.
Animals are attuned to these energies that are emitted. So, this is why animals are very sensitive to spirit activity.
Yep.
Kids, not blocked, they're sensitive to it.
So if you have a kid and they're drawing things or saying that they're seeing it, ask them what they're seeing.
Right. Talk to them about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we get these shows of, my kid was born, a Roman soldier, reincarnated kids and stuff like that.
I love those shows.
Those shows and it's a lot of these parents are very open to that. Or there's one parent that is, and then there's the skeptic. There's always a skeptic.
Oh yeah. But I believe in reincarnation.
I do too.
Yeah. We should do that next week.
I have a story about that about a kid that in I was teaching an art class last week, and they talked to me. They were talking. It was a weird conversation. All of a sudden, I heard somebody say something about getting killed, and so these are like third graders. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that, boom, I was on that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, we're talking about reincarnation, being reborn.
That's cool.
That you have more than one life. Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about that one next week.
Okay. So, let them see. Let them have their imagination.
Yeah.
They're invisible friends. I mean, talk to them about it. Don't just discourage it.
Yeah, don't dismiss it. Don't
dismiss
tell them,
it. Right.
Yeah, don't tell them, well, that doesn't really exist. It's just your imagination. Because it very well might not be just their imagination.
It could be Aunt Fanny.
Yeah.
That's coming to visit. Their grandparents, somebody.
Oh, yeah.
That they're communicating with.
Yeah.
So, and if it's somebody that passed before they were born, they wouldn't know who this person is. Talk to your kids, find out about it, and kids are going to be kids. They're going to have an imagination.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why you need to, and don't talk down to them.
Right.
I mean, honestly, don't, parents are supposed to be the person the kids are to go to as a support.
Right.
They're supposed to trust you. And if you belittle it, they'll shut down on you. Yeah. I mean, I never talked to my mom about this kind of stuff because I knew it wasn't going to be a good conversation.
Yeah.
Why would I want to talk to her about stuff like this?
Yeah, I don't think my mom believes in ghosts either, but I'm pretty sure my dad does.
Right. There's somebody in the family, even if you're a skeptic, I'm not saying you have to believe it, but at least talk to them in a respectful way.
Yeah, and be open to the possibility.
And be open to the possibility. I mean, just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Right, exactly.
Yep.
So, I guess that's it for today.
Yeah.
So, have fun.
Yeah, have a good week.
And
good holiday weekend.
Yes, exactly. All those burgers and hot dogs. And,
yeah.
There was a bunch of hot dogs sold out today, and this guy was complaining that they're all gone and the prices were outrageous. And I'm like, dude, tomorrow's Memorial Day. It's a holiday. That's why.
Should have been in here a week ago.
It's like, but at the end of the month, they always lower. I'm like, dude, it's a holiday. They're gonna hike the prices.
And they're gonna be gone because everyone's grilling out.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yep. So have a good Memorial Day, and we honor all of those who have served or have passed because of service. And have a good one, and we will see you next week.
Yep, with reincarnation.
Right. Yeah. Have a good one. Bye. Bye.